OnlyFans shows an amazing depiction of the duality of the world we live in. On one hand, you have Piers Morgan asking, is getting naked a feminist act? And he's interviewing this very beautiful, successful OnlyFans lady. And on the other hand, you have video games that don't even want to admit that there is something as female anymore. They call it body type A and body type B. You have video game journalists foaming at the mouth because Capcom had the audacity to release a female character that actually looks feminine. And of course, if you look at the Diablo 4 editor, you will see that the way they draw faces for women is the way you're actually supposed to draw the faces for men. So while that is happening, like, all sexuality is being removed from art, and it's actually considered harmful. This is what the video game journalist has told me. It's harmful to depict the feminine body in its beauty. And this, of course, comes from the feminist ideology, the third wave feminist ideology, which is that we live in a rape culture, that men being exposed to unrealistic bodily depictions of women causes them to be less likely to be nice to women that have different body types. Like, complete madness, okay? But while this is happening, and while this ideology is taking roots and preventing the West from creating art that doesn't make you want to gouge your eyes out, you do have OnlyFans, right? So, like, OnlyFans shows us that we live in one of the most fake periods of mankind. Because when you look there, you see beautiful women that use filter, use makeup, use plastic surgery, use every single opportunity they have in order to change their appearance to adhere to this beauty standard, which the ideology from the video game journalists is telling us that it doesn't exist. They completely have waged war against the very concept, the very notion of a beauty standard. They will say that beauty is subjective, and as such, there are no standards, none whatsoever. Like a person that managed to escape a blazing inferno and have their face mutilated like Freddy Krueger, a journalist that's into video games would definitely consider that person beautiful and consider them as a very good dating opportunity, right? Because this is what they espouse, so clearly this is how they must behave in their real life. But with that out of the way, Piers Morgan has tried, unsuccessfully I would add, to address the problem that is OnlyFans. So let's see how he managed to do it.
You being someone who embarked on a law career, was obviously very bright, went to university, packed it in just for money to be effectively an online stripper. I mean, that's what you do, right?
Yeah. Way worse than an online stripper. But
what do you mean way worse?
Way worse. Online strippers just, you know, naked. I do things that are way more grotesque
Well,
than
just
that.
pornography,
Anything, but it's all within what I want to do, and I absolutely love it, and I'm really good at it. You know, I could be a good lawyer, yes, but also, am I good at doing other things on video and camera?
How would you feel when you want to have kids yourself?
Well, I mean, I don't really want kids right now. But at
You
least
will do. How old are you?
25.
Right, so you will do at some stage, probably, right?
Maybe.
When you do, you're going to be proud that you have your little ones and they look at you and go, didn't you want to be a lawyer, Mummy? What happened?
Yeah.
And you go, here, but look at all my stuff.
They can cry in a Ferrari.
Look at Piers's face. He knows he has been defeated. He knows he has lost the argument. Look, right? He can't smile a little bit more than this because the cameras are rolling, and he just tries to maintain composure. But he knows that he probably would have said, Great Britain has lost a great lawyer. I mean, if these are the strong arguments that you can make on the spot when the cameras are rolling, I wish I could have seen you in the courtroom. But all jokes aside, it seems that her fans are really happy with the way she responded, and they don't like Piers Morgan's aggressive questioning. And of course, there are more right-wing conservative people that are dismayed for the lack of shame. And this is like what she was doing when she was saying that she does way worse, right? Because Piers Morgan tried to move away from the conversation that the left is saying. It's like sex work is real work, but a lot of OnlyFans girls do not do sex. So like, what are you talking about? No, it's online stripping. But, you know, she just said, no, she does worse. So what do I think about this? Well, I think that if Piers Morgan wants to moralize people, right, which is what the mainstream media is trying to accomplish right now, like they're trying to take over the place that the church used to have in society, you're not doing this correctly. Like what you're doing is you're getting yourself ratings, you're getting yourself money, by pretending that you're trying to solve a problem when you're not. There is no possible way you can tell a multi-millionaire that what they are doing is wrong. I mean, and not to mention OnlyFans isn't even the worst. I mean, there are criminals that actually hurt people, and they do this because they want money. Imagine going to Don Corleone from The Godfather and saying, hey, have you considered not doing this? Because like shaking down businesses is bad, and you're being a bad person. What type of influence do you set? What would your children think? You know, like these arguments do not work for a person that's now a multi-millionaire. And not only that, but by bringing in people to a large audience, you're basically showing that it's possible. Hey, you know, you too, from your bedroom, can take a few pictures of yourself, and maybe you can become a multi-billionaire as well, right? So you're not doing what you want to do, which is to moralize people. You're doing the opposite. You're encouraging this. If you actually wanted to show like the harms of OnlyFans, and that's because you're a moral busybody and you want to become the new modern day priest, the first thing you would have to do would be to get some of the victims, which would be young boys that have spent all of their money on OnlyFans, that are unable to get a date. They're unable to have like a healthy relationship because they're obsessed with their OnlyFans waifu. You know, talk to their mothers, see how they feel that their young boys are spending all of the money that they're making on OnlyFans, right? And there are such cases, like you can go on Reddit and you can see people who do not pay their rent because they want to pay money to their favorite streamer. People who got a divorce because their wife found out that they were spending their family money on an online streamer, right? So you talk about those, which in my opinion may be even extreme outliers, but hey, you want to be the media, right? Like you want to be the new clergy. So that's how I would do it. If you want to do agitation and propaganda, at least do it right. And unfortunately, you can't do this now, but 10 or 20 years in the future, you can get women who used to be OnlyFans girls and ask them how they feel about it now, looking back. Like I guarantee to you, because like most of the regret and most of the consequences are going to arrive far in the future. They're not going to happen now when they're making money and they're the center of attention. Like literally, what more can you want as a human being? Like you already make a lot of cash, right? Like we're not talking about being rich, we're talking about being a millionaire. So you're not ever going to want for anything. You have millions of people that look at you as if you're royalty. You're not going to manage to reach and explain to this person, hey, you know, like what you're doing may be harmful in the future, especially when they probably know and don't care. You know, like a person that smokes cigarettes, you go to them and you tell them, hey, you know, you're going to have cancer in the future, and they don't care. Like, just it's not how human beings work. You know, like I guess a lot of people would wish we would work that way, but we don't. So yeah, that's how you'd actually shape OnlyFans. You know, and then I guess you can show some of the CEOs at OnlyFans, like some of the chief executives, and show what luxurious lifestyles they have, and then you show their victims. Like that would be the way I would spin it. And of course, you can also show a lot of girls that didn't make it, because the lady you have presented is one of the first 1%ers on the website. But there are so many women that just put their naked body out there, and then they didn't manage to accomplish anything, and chances are it also affected their professional careers. It is, though, really interesting, right? Like, imagine how insulting it must be. Like, for most women, I assume, like, the most intimate and the prized thing that they have is their body. Imagine, like, showing it to the internet, and the internet goes like, nah, I'll pass. Like, you know, like get one of those ladies and interview them. It would be interesting. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.